Hi, my name is Asia. I'm with Blue Ribbon Notaries. We are a signing service. We facilitate closing or mobile closings for title companies, law offices, realtors, loan officers, investors, um, anybody who needs to have a miscellaneous document like a deed or a chain of title, airship affidavit, something to that extent that's related to a property. We facilitate and get that taken care of on behalf of said title company, real estate agent, realtor, loan officer, firm, investment firm, etc. So I've been operating my signing service since March of 2022. I've actually been a mobile notary, loan signing agent, whatever you want to call it, since 2016. And there are a couple of things that I was not prepared for from going from a mobile notary who facilitates real estate transactions to the actual signing service owner. I mean, there was things that I knew I was going to expect, but there was just things that nobody could prepare me for these. So one of the things that I had to really kind of learn is not everybody's going to work like you. That could be good or bad. So working with notaries or sourcing, outsourcing, and working with other notaries, I have experienced both really good notaries and then just really bad, bare minimum, if that much, notaries. And that can be a good thing or bad thing. Luckily, I've not had an interaction that cost me my contract or my relationship with my clients, but I can easily see how it happens. And I also understand why a lot of signing services that I've worked with in the past either micromanage or they have like these laundry list of instructions because it's needed. Have not gotten to the point of micromanagement. I don't even have that in me to micromanage anybody. But the instructions, I probably have a laundry list of instructions because again, it is needed. So I was not prepared to work with or just understand that people do not work the way you work. And the good side of it is I've had notaries that are really good, like really phenomenal notaries, like notaries that are way better notaries than I was. And I had to look at what they're doing and say, maybe I need to implement that practice in my service. Or, I really like I really like that she did that, or she or he, because it's a lot of male notaries as well. I really like that they did that, and I'm going to start doing that as well. So that's the good part of it. I actually learned a lot working and outsourcing and contracting other notaries to complete these appointments. So that is a good thing that I've gotten out of it. But I've actually learned that you do have to kind of stay on notaries a little bit more than I would want to. So that's one thing. Another thing that I was not prepared for, or I take that back. I am prepared for it because it's happened to me as an individual, but not as a company. So you've heard me say before, I work with a lot of investor properties, which means that not every transaction closes. Investor properties, sometimes the file just busts. That's what they call it in title, the file will bust. If the file busts, nobody gets paid, which means the title company, they lose out on their escrow fee. The investor loses out on his assignment fee or his profit that he was going to make if he was purchasing it outright. The seller, they don't get their money for closing. Anybody else tied to that transaction, they're not getting their money. It's just not going to happen. Unfortunately for me, and I've experienced it several times before as an individual notary working for the client directly, like, oh man, so I'm used to it. Like I've done more than a handful, I would say at least 2 handfuls of stuff that I just never got paid for, and that's just what it is. But when operating as a signing service, it doesn't work that way. So if I contract and hire a notary to do something, I'm going to pay them regardless of whether or not the file closes, because I don't want to be one of those signing services who doesn't pay the notaries. And I want people to utilize my services. Like, I want to utilize people for their service. I want people to utilize my service, and I want to build those same relationships that I have with my clients with notaries. Like, I want to be like, hey, I got something in your area, you want it? And they may not want it, but because we have a good relationship, or I've used them so many times, they'll just go ahead and take it, because they know they're used to the type of file that I'm going to give them, so they know it may not be that complicated. They may or may not have issues, but they know they're going to get a fair fee for it, and fingers crossed everything goes well and they're in and out in 5 minutes. So I'm going to pay them regardless of whether or not it closes. And this summer I've had I've had like a few properties that had several people on title, and we got down to the last person or somewhere in the middle after I've already outsourced and hired notaries to get, documents signed, and somebody refuses to sign, which means the file does not close, which means nobody gets their money. But the notary that I sent out to do the appointment, I still went ahead and made the decision to pay them, which means I actually lost money. So not only did I not get money, I lost money because I chose to pay something for something that I didn't get paid for in return. So I didn't really think about that going into it. I mean, I've experienced individually, but I didn't experience it as a business. And I will still continue to pay notaries for files that do not close, because I want to be able to just send them a casual text message, shoot them, hey, I got something, you want it, and they agree to do it because they know I'm good for it. They're not going to feel stiffed, in other words. So that's not something I was prepared for, and it hurt my feelings when it happened because I had to dish out money that I didn't get. Anywho, so and that's probably why I have the fees that I have, because it kind of covers that. It pads in that happening. So that's the second thing I didn't think of. So another thing I didn't think of is, or I wasn't prepared for, is having to negotiate my fees so much. Meaning, I get it. There are some credit signing services out there. There are some signing services who definitely lowball their notaries. I mean, the $60 refinances are what, 100 pages plus. Sometimes 150 to 200 pages, depending on who the client is, or who the lender is, and who the title company is, because some title companies have like extra like stuff in their packets that's ridiculous. So I get feeling some type of way that you're getting a $60 offer. I don't have $60 offers. Even like my smallest packet, which is an airship affidavit, is what, 6 pages. You may only meet one person out of that 6 pages and get one signature, and for those 6 pages, I'm willing to pay you $75. So I don't understand sometimes with the argument, or with the back and forth with negotiating the fees come for. I mean, this is a business. You run it how you need to run it, and I understand negotiations. I've done stuff in sales before, so I get it. You never know. It doesn't hurt to ask, because maybe you're lucky too. You may get something extra. You don't know. But I was not prepared to negotiate so much on my fees with a lot of notaries, knowing that I'm giving you a fair price to begin with. It almost makes me want to lower my fees, so that way if you negotiate, I'll just meet you where I was already prepared to give you the fee to begin with. So that was another thing I wasn't prepared for. And then one of the last things that I was not prepared for is like just kind of scrambling, like the unexpected finding a notary. So in a lot of cases, I'm still out. Well, at one point, I was still out doing a lot of notaries. I've made the decision to kind of step back and outsource a few more of my appointments so I can focus on other things. But just the unpredictability of it when you're an individual is one thing. But it's kind of like when you go from part-time to full-time. I had to kind of adjust going from being a part-time loan signing agent to being a full-time loan signing agent. It's an adjustment. It's the same adjustment from being like a signing company to individual. I'm at an appointment, I'm on the freeway, and then I get that email, hey, can you find me a notary in like the next 30 minutes? And I'm like, oh my God, I gotta figure this out. I gotta scramble, I gotta pull over the side of the road. A lot of times I would be driving like on a busy street with my phone out, going through, and thank God thank you Jesus and my lucky stars that I did not cause an accident or get in an accident because of it. But I mean, just the scrambling of trying to outsource something very quickly and efficiently when I'm still trying to try to be a dual, um, try to take care of business or whatever. It just happens. So that was not something that I initially thought about and wasn't necessarily prepared for. So if you are thinking of owning a signing service, I say go for it. It's pretty cool. I love it. I enjoy it. I've kind of gone back and forth on whether or not I'm going to scale or not scale. I do know I'm going to probably take on some more clients, but I don't intend to be like a coast to coast, and everybody knows who coast to coast is, or I think everybody knows who coast to coast is, but I don't intend to be like one of these big mega signing services. I kind of like where I am. I do want to scale and get a little bit bigger and take on a few more clients, just because I'm taking the decision to step out of doing a lot of appointments myself. So because I'm going to be stepping out of appointments, I got to make it up somewhere. And I just say go for it. It's been a really good experience. I've gotten to learn better practices for myself, and I've gotten to kind of really learn and understand people. So if you are good at working with people, if you're good at negotiating, if you're good at being efficient and organized and kind of conflict resolution, or have a very high emotional intelligence, then I would say this is really for you. And do it. It's the next level of being a mobile notary. It's something I had thought about a few years ago when I first started, but I'm really glad I didn't take it on and try to do it when I first started, because I would not be ready for it like I am today. Because now I've experienced everything. I know I'm getting the most money that I as a matter of fact, I thought I was getting good money. I was actually told I should be asking for more money, so by one of the escrow officers that I work with. So I know I didn't lowball myself and I didn't shortchange myself, or try to undercut somebody just to get in. I didn't have to do that. I asked my price and I got it. And more importantly, I'll probably get a little bit more because I was told that was a little too low. So take your time, learn what you're doing, learn your clients, learn what to expect out of your clients. Go for it for a good amount of time, and then when you're ready to scale and grow into a service, those are just some of the tips that I had to learn, and I hope that can help you. All right, so good luck out there.